Chris Cooney, President of the Metro South Chamber of Commerce, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 4th annual Multicultural Business Forum and Expo. So thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight, we celebrate, I know, it's great to see the face-to-face. So often our faces are in our phones, and so when you see a real live human being, you want to say hello to them and shake their hand and all that. But we've got some great, we've got a great program for you. Tonight we celebrate the many cultures that make this city and region so special. More importantly, we celebrate the people who have built businesses and those who have assisted the businesses along the way. They're all displaying here tonight. We have some wonderful business people with us tonight who will tell their stories of how they got into business, how they built their brand. In addition, we have a variety of businesses and business assistance resources that are exhibiting in the room today. We really hope that you take the time to get around and say hello. You never know where that conversation may lead. Take the time to say hi to our free business advisors like SCORE. SCORE is over here on the right, my right. Small Business Administration is here as well. I think Don O'Connor is here representing them. And the Small Business Development Center is here. You can also stop and talk with a Seed Corporation representative or one of our many banks that are here, local banks that are willing to lend money and have programs specifically for Brockton and this region. You can also secure a certificate as a woman or minority-owned business. SDO, the Supplier Diversity Office of the state of Massachusetts, holds regular workshops and certification processes right here in Brockton, sometimes at the Chamber and sometimes next door at the Crescent Credit Union Learning Center. So in addition to the businesses and resource partners, we also have a number of community partners in the room tonight. These partners include the Cape Verdean Association, the Haitian Community Partners, the NAACP Brockton Chapter, Old Colony Planning Council, the Brockton Rotary Club International, Brockton Area Transit Authority, and the South Shore Haitians United for Progress. Let's have a round of applause for our partners. Thank you. We would also like to thank the sponsors of this evening's program. Please join me in a big round of applause when I finish reading their name. We have Mutual Bank. They are sponsoring our business panel. We have The Perfect Place. Obviously, Fred Fontaine is allowing us to use his space tonight. Lady C&J Soul Food, Cynthia, and her team is right behind the table there. BC Tent and Awning, Bob Costa. Peppercorns Cafe and Catering. And Entertainment One Stop Shop, of course, our very own, Rashad. And Rich Morgan Photography. In addition, we want to thank the Rockland Trust Company for sponsoring our year-round efforts at the Chamber office for our Business Assistance Center. In addition, we have some elected officials here, and if I don't read your name, please let one of the staff know and I will announce you. Of course, we have with us the Mayor of Brockton, Bill Carpenter. We have City Councilor, Ann Beauregard from the City of Brockton. We also have Mark DiAgostino from the School Committee in Brockton, and our State Representative, Jerry Cassidy, from the City of Brockton. And we will hear from Moses Rodriguez, the President of the City Council, shortly. So we have also with us partners from the Massachusetts Office of Business Development. Not Lee, if you haven't met her, is our representative from Mass Office of Business Development. This is her 3rd year participating and attending, so we want to thank you for your support throughout the years. Appreciate it. We also have Veronica Cavallo Martins from the Consulate General Office of Cape Verde, and she's here for the 4th year in a row. Veronica, there you are. Okay. Thank you for your support. It is now my pleasure to welcome our MC for tonight's program, Mary Waldron. She is a past recipient of the Chamber's annual Athena Award program, which is presented annually to an exceptional individual who has achieved excellence in her profession, has served the community in a very meaningful way, and has assisted other women in reaching their full leadership roles. Mary is the director of the Institute of Policy Analysis and Regional Engagement at Bridgewater State University. This is a leading resource partner participating in tonight's expo as well. She also is a resident of Brockton and probably knows most of you in the room, I'm guessing. So Mary, come on up.
Hello, Brockton! Yeah, no. You don't want me coming out there right now because I've had one of Monica's little taste of the wine. And it does not affect me, I promise you. But no, really. Hello, Brockton! Now we hear you. So welcome, everybody. This really, truly is an honor. It's my second year emceeing, and hopefully will not be my last. I do need my glasses, unfortunately, with Chris is a little bit younger than I am. We're talking about Metro South, so it's just not Brockton. This really is Metro South, and we really are a mosaic of different diverse groups and organizations and businesses and nonprofits and volunteers and human beings, right? And having this event really is a way of bringing this ideas, aiding development in the community. So we just had Black History Month, and we are in Women's History Month. You know, what great way of bringing these two groups together in an event like this, in a place like this. That's right, give it up. Thanks, Steve Bernard. And we need not to do it just once a month. We need to do it every single day, every single minute, every time we get a chance where we put our feet on the ground. So our diverse and inclusive business climate creates a competitive advantage both locally and globally. At BSU and at the Metro South Chamber, we strive to cultivate diverse leadership, facilitate minority business growth, and engage in diverse community impact that will affect the region and beyond. Right, so even though what happens here, we're standing here in Brockton, everything that we do here affects all of our communities and the region and the Commonwealth. Tonight, we will hear from several small business owners who have realized their dreams, sought education, refined their skill set, and have achieved success. And it's important to realize they didn't do it alone, and I think you're going to hear that today. Through resources, organizations, mentors, networks, all available to all of you, they have achieved their goals. We hope you take advantage of these resources as well and be inspired to live your dream. Before we introduce the panelists, I'd like to introduce a very important member of our community. Brockton is very fortunate to have a mayor who understands the importance of small business and diversity within the regional economy. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Bill Carpenter, Mayor of the City of Brockton.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. I did have a blazer on earlier, but Ray Ledoux said he'd pay me $50 if I would wear this up here tonight, so, yeah. It is a thrill to be back here again this year. This is really a great event. I'll keep my remarks very brief because I know we've got a great panel for you. But I first want to thank all the sponsors and vendors that support the Chamber and support local businesses in putting this event on. Mary may want to talk about Metro South. I came up to talk about Brockton. So here in the city of Brockton, we are heavily invested in creating entrepreneurship opportunities for small businesses to start and grow. And we realize that the future and the future growth of our city's economy is going to be built around minority-owned, women-owned, immigrant-owned small businesses. That's where the real growth and strength of this city will be. It's one of our strengths. We're creating a welcoming city where people feel comfortable to come here to start their business and to open their business. This past year, I created a small business advisory committee. It's not an official city commission, just a group of small business owners, 5 small business owners that I sit down with once a month just to give them direct access to speak to me and keep me aware and in tune with issues that may be affecting small businesses in the city, and particularly if there are areas where the city could be doing something to help support small businesses. And we talk about a lot of different issues. But I think it's important to mention here tonight, of the 5 small business owners, 2 are minorities and 2 are women. And that was, we were very conscious as we were putting this group together, not to bring together some really good people and good business owners that want to help in the city, but also to make sure that we were being conscious of all of the business owners of the city and making sure everybody had a seat at the table and a voice at the table. So we'll continue to go on. Coming up, I can't announce it tonight, but I will tell you that at the State of the City address coming up at the end of this month, I will be making an announcement that will be very important to small businesses, either entrepreneurs that would like to start a small business in downtown Brockton, or small businesses that want to move into the downtown. We are going to be establishing a program that will provide incentives and be a great help to develop small businesses, as we've got this record year of 2019 coming up for growth in the downtown. There's about $150 million of new development that will break ground in downtown Brockton this year. It's based upon market rate housing, but also a mixed-use model, rebuilding and restoring a vibrant business district on the ground floor while we build market rate housing above it. And we're going to create some incentives to help bring more businesses in to fill those empty storefronts downtown while we continue to build the market rate housing above it. So we're very excited about that. So thank you so much for letting me say hello to everyone. Have a great evening. I'm looking forward to the panel, and I'll give it back to Mary. Thank you.
Mayor Carpenter, thank you very much. We'll be certainly looking for the State of the City address, and we certainly will be looking to hear that announcement at the end of the month. So at this point, I'd also like to bring up, to hear from the City Council. And in this case, I'd like to bring up President of the City Council, Moises Rodriguez. Moses?
Isn't that interesting? The ethnic guy shows up and they start playing music. I just thank you, Mr. Mayor, thank you, Mary, and Chris. It's a pleasure being here to be in front of you. As you know, I was elected to the City Council this year, and I'm trying to feel my way around that council. It's a little interesting at times. But I have a very good relationship with the mayor, and one of the things that we often talk about is how well we want to preserve what we have here in this city. Yes, we want additional businesses to come, but we want to make sure that we preserve what we have. And we've got a great city, and Mayor, it's funny you were talking about your blazer and not having, I brought one actually, and my daughter Marissa, who's standing right there with some folks from the Cape Verdean Association, told me that I looked a little busy. You know, I had way too many colors on, so I took off the blazer just to save face in front of the dress police, you know. But I want to make sure that I also want to thank, I don't know who was responsible for a parking spot for me. I didn't know that. I parked, I guess, in front of Kmart. But I was told that I had a reserved spot, man. Did you have one?
I parked in yours.
Oh, did you? You know, this is what happens. But if I knew that that was the case, I would have parked at my own spot. But I want to thank you for that. But at the same time, I want to make sure that you understand that we've got to. Believe it or not, I know the mayor doesn't agree all that much, but we do have a very group of folks in the city council, people that care deeply about this city. Often you hear sometimes the discussions that we have, and it makes it sound like we are, you know, we're not all on the same page in the sense, but we have 11 different individuals. And I think it's important for us to understand that we are individuals. We all have our own, whatever you want to call it, ego, points of preference, some things that we approve, some things we don't approve. But when it's all said and done, we all have one thing in common. And the one thing we have in common is that we love this city. And we will continue to love this city, but we can't love it alone. We rely on you to help us out, because there's no way that Brockton is going to progress unless we utilize the friends that we have around this city to help us out. We are the catch-all community. If you're having a tough time making ends meet in the Bridgewaters or in Abington or in Easton, you're going to come to Brockton looking for services. So of course, we are going to have the issues that we have sometimes. It's safe to say that the vast majority of the folks who are homeless in our city are not Brockton residents. But we have an obligation now to do what we can to take care of those people. But we also need you to help us promote the city. You know, it's businesses like the ones we're going to hear from, the ones that are in the room, that will make the city go forward. But we need your help. Brockton is, I know for a fact, the most diverse city in Massachusetts. I don't care what anybody else says. We are the most diverse city in Massachusetts, and you can tell them I said so. And we enjoy our diversity, we support our diversity, and we're going to continue to do that. Often there are issues that might come out that might have some folks frowning upon, but we enjoy our diversity, and we enjoy the fact that we're known as a city that is welcoming to all. We're a city that welcomes immigrants, and we're going to continue to do that. We're a city that's also business friendly. I know Chris doesn't agree all the time with us, especially in the council, but we are a business friendly community. I hope and I wish that we could do a lot more in terms of taxation to the businesses in the community. But if you help us bring more businesses, I guarantee you that we're going to lower the business taxes.
Yeah.
So you've got some homework, some things that you need to do during this year. As soon as you're ready, I'm ready, and I'm sure the mayor is ready, and we're going to move forward in getting this stuff done because we want you to be here. We want you to continue to believe in this city so we can help the people in this city. Again, you didn't come here to listen to me speak. I came here to support this cause. I came here to support this effort because I think this is what Brockton looks like. This is what the greater Brockton looks like, because I know it's not just the city of Brockton, but this is what the greater Brockton looks like. And you can count on your city government to step up and help you where we can. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate here, and I'll hang out and make sure that we're here supporting you. Thank you, man.
I think we can all feel the love, can't we, between the mayor and the city council here today? It really is important, right? I think for all of the businesses and for the organizations to have your government work for you is pretty vital. So what I'd like to do next is tonight's business panel is being sponsored by Mutual Bank. Mutual Bank was built on a simple idea. Local people and their businesses are best served by a local bank with local interest at heart. Mutual Bank is a true community bank with both personal and business services. Whether you are looking for your first mortgage, starting a business, or saving for the future, you will get down-to-earth personal service from a financially focused team. More than a century later, they are still a mutual institution with a big heart. Please join me in welcoming Dan Trout, Senior Vice President.
Thanks, I'll be brief. I did bring my coat up here to show I had it, and I hear that Ray Ledoux's giving out $50 if I don't wear it, so I'll see you afterwards, Ray. Mutual Bank is proud to sponsor. This is our 4th year in a row of sponsoring this event, and this is a great turnout. Thanks to the Chamber. Thanks everybody for coming. Mutual Bank is proud to lend to small businesses in and around Brockton. We have a number of loans going now. We have had banner years over the last couple years. Between myself and I don't know where Mr. Charnel ran off to, but if you don't know Jeff, he's one of the lenders at Mutual Bank. If you don't know him, you probably live under a rock. But I also want to compliment all our other bankers that are here today that do a nice job. Rockland Trust is here. Eastern Bank, Ray Ledoux's on Bridgewater Savings, I think Harbor One's here, and if I left somebody out, I apologize. But if you have an idea for a small business, please talk to your banker. Go find out what you need to do. So many times somebody has an idea about banking and they're 99% of the way there except for the financing, and we get brought in at the last minute, and it's a lot easier to get brought in the beginning. So I think all the banks here will tell you that. So make sure you see your banker, involve them from the start, and we'll take good care of you. So without further ado, I'll hand it back to Mary.
So while Dan's here, can all the mutual bank folks that are here just raise your hand, come forward? Awesome, thank you for being here. So I have just a little special because my daughter Casey went to school with Mr. Benoit, who's here, and it's great to see the second generation coming through. Oh, there's Jeff. Nice to see you, Jeff. But it is great to see not only our kids, but our future, is really with you. So I just need to do a mic check, so hold on one second. Check, check. Here we are. Dan, thank you very much. I know I love the coat. I love everything else. Ray, you got to owe him. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our business panel, who will share their interesting and inspirational business stories. Please welcome to the stage Tiffany L. Niles of Lyles and Niles LLP, Brandon Scales, an actor from Brockton, Rashad Gardner, of the Entertainment One Stop Shop, right here. And Taisha Creighton, an author, entrepreneur, and business builder. Please welcome. Doesn't this panel look amazing, right? So first on the panel to tell her story is attorney Tiffany L. Niles. She's founding partner of Lyles and Niles LLP, a general practice law firm on the South Shore of Massachusetts. Tiffany focuses her practice on bankruptcy, domestic relations, landlord-tenant dispute. Tiffany is certified with the Committee of Public Counsel Family, the Committee of Public Counsel, Family and Children Division, and represents children and parents involved with the Department of Children and Families. In 1999, Tiffany received her Bachelor's of Science degree from the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and her Juris Doctor from Suffolk University Law School in 2004. She was admitted to practice in Massachusetts in 2005. In 2010, Tiffany serves on the board of the Lawyers for Civil Rights and New England Community Services, and is a member of the Massachusetts Black Lawyers Association and the Massachusetts Black Women's Attorneys. Tiffany lives in Brockton, Massachusetts, with her husband and children. Tiffany, if you could please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Well, that was a lot about me. Back to 1999.
Can you hear her?
No. Closer? Sorry. So, as I was already introduced, my name is Tiffany Ellis Niles, and I am half of Lyles and Niles LLP. We are a general practice, and we're located in Randolph on North Main Street. My partner, Adrena Lyles, is also here today, as well as our paralegal, Phoenix Richardson. We started our law firm back in 2010. I met my partner, Adrena, in law school. I went to Suffolk Law School for 4 years at night. Before that, I went to UMass Boston and UMass Amherst. And we started in Randolph, and we've been there since 2010. And when we started our practice, both me and my partner, we had other positions. I was working as an associate at a small firm in Boston, and my partner was a police officer for the MBTA. So we talked about starting a law firm when we got out of law school. The time was never right until it was. So then we opened Lyles and Niles, and we kind of really just hit the ground running. For us, we started with the website. We didn't do a lot of advertising. We started with our website, and we used to go and do workshops in churches and in communities. We started going around giving seminars on wills and estates, and also bankruptcy and real estate, which are some of the areas that we continue to practice today. So a lot of our business and our referrals and our clients came from basically word of mouth, and that's how we started out. We also then started to join some organizations like the Commerce and some of the the legal associations, to meet other people and network, so we can also, gain clients that way from, word of mouth once again. And in the beginning, you know, we just started out, we pretty much, you know, we're a firm, we're a small firm, it's still just me and my partner at this point. And we try to, you know, work with the small individual. We want to help everyone that we can. We do a lot of pro bono work as much as we can do. And we practice a lot. It's easy to say what we don't practice. So we practice pretty much everything because we're a general practice. I focus my practice, as you heard, on divorce, bankruptcy, real estate, landlord, tenant, and my partner does the criminal and the wills and estates. So obviously we want to grow our business, so that's why we get involved with things like the chamber and continue to network, continue to do outreach. We don't so much do the seminars anymore. I think we want to get back into doing that, the seminars, because that was a good way just to meet the people in the community. So of course we want to expand, you know, grow bigger so that at one point we can just travel and let our business work for us while we're not there. That would be the goal. We also, as far as funding, again, we didn't do any loans when we started our business. We just started fresh out. We do a lot more advertising now. We still have the website. We want to, you know, build on that. But again, we're busy every day. We have a lot of clients. I don't want to say more than we can handle, but we have a lot of clients, and we try to do the best that we can working for them. And as far as professional development, again, joining, you know, for me, because I'm in the legal field, all of the appropriate legal resources like the Massachusetts Bar, which I'm a member of, and the Boston Bar, because they also have a referral service that you can use there. That's another way that you get access and get clients. So for people, entrepreneurs who are trying to start their business, I would say definitely you have to network, you have to meet people, you have to, you know, put yourself out there, you have to go to events like these and talk to people, because you never know where you're going to meet your next client. So you want to continue to do that. And I don't think I have anything else, but thank you for inviting me to come here tonight.
I'm just going to do this for 1 second. Tiffany, that was really awesome. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking when you're looking at people and you know, like, what's in your heart, because it's your passion. You can tell that. So how many of you need a will out there? Who doesn't have a will? Seriously. Get to know Tiffany and her team that's here. It really is important. So thank you, Tiffany. I think sharing that information is terrific. So thank you. So next we have Brandon Scales. Brandon is an actor discovered by Peter Berg on the set of Patriots Day, originally cast as an extra, then given a role by the Hollywood director. Brandon is known for Patriots Day in 2016, Miles 22 in 2018, and Fire in 2017. Brandon overcame challenges as a child, including navigating the foster care system. He eventually graduated from Southeastern Regional Voc Tech in Brockton and went on to attend Southeastern Regional Voc Tech is not in Brockton, it's in Easton. So I know that.
That's correct.
Yes, I knew that. That's why then went on to attend New England College of Business.
Yes.
So while pursuing his acting career, Brandon is military trained and fought as an amateur boxer out of the Petronelli Gym here in Brockton. So with that, I'd like to hand this over to you, Brandon, to say a few words.
Thank you. First of all, thank everybody for coming out. You all look incredibly great, and I'm so happy to see you all. Thanks, Chris, for allowing me to come up here and tell a little bit about myself. So, as you just heard, my name is Brandon Scales. I have lived in Brockton since 1994. I moved here when I was 13. I attended West Junior High School, and as she just told you, I went to Southeastern. After graduating from school, I was a little confused as to what I wanted to do with my life. As a child, I sort of grew up all over the country a little bit. I lived in Texas. I was born in Arkansas. And when I was living in the South is when I started acting in plays. And I had an incredible teacher, Miss Youngblood, who really taught me how to take all of my pain and everything I went through in my life and sort of apply it to the art that I do now. Um, after school, you know, I went to the military. I mean, I did a few different things, and I just could not find what I wanted to do. Wound up working for Harbor One Bank. Is Harbor One here? Hi, Harbor One. So wound up working for Harbor One Bank as a teller. You know, it was a great place to work, great place to be. Just felt that it probably wasn't the best fit for myself. After leaving Harbor One, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. I wound up getting a real estate license, and I worked for Coldwell Banker for a year or so. After which I started, I saw a post for Boston Casting looking for extras for the movie Ted 2. And I don't know, something just spoke to me. And so I went ahead and I submitted for that and wound up on the set of Ted 2. And as I was sitting there, I looked at Mark Wahlberg, who, you know, was almost like a giant on set. And I thought to myself, wow, he has an incredibly cool job. I would love to have that job. So after you know, we wrapped on that, I sort of got the bug and started applying to a lot of the local films that you know is shot around in the area, and wound up on the set of Patriots Day. And as she told you, I got onto Patriots Day and as an extra. And I wound up getting a speaking line from Peter Berg, and he fell in love with what I did and had me come back the next day and had a whole scene planned out for me, which was almost unheard of. You know, you don't go on set as an extra and wound up with a speaking role in a major Hollywood movie. So from there, we wrapped on a movie. The scene made the film, and it started a great relationship between Pete and myself. And he called me to go work with him again in Atlanta on the movie Mile 22, another Mark Wahlberg film. So I got a chance to work with Mark, and I got a chance to network with a lot of the other Hollywood talent there. Ronda Rousey, who I'm very endeared to, Lauren Cohen, who I have her personal number, and it was just incredible. I just wrapped on a new film with Pete called Wonderland. It's gonna be on Netflix this year. I play probably only good cop in the movie. I get a lot of cop roles. From working as an actor, I wound up working with Anawan Street Productions. Anawan Street Productions is a Brockton-based film production company. And I would suggest anyone here who is looking to you know, promote their business, market their business. Video and social media is really the new marketing tool that a lot of us are using. And we've noticed that, you know, clients who come to us wanting to help their business grow, once they, you know, get a commercial with us, and, you know, once we come in and, you know, we work with them, they're able to see growth in their business. So that's great. Working with Anawan Street Productions, I actually became a producer. So now, on top of working as an actor, I develop projects. I'm actually working on something kind of close to me right now about the city of Brockton. But working as a producer, I mean, I thought that I was going to love working as an actor, but working as a producer, I really, really, really enjoy it, because I get to give opportunities to people, you know, and give those same opportunities I got. And I would say that's probably everyone in this room, that's our obligation, is to give back. A lot of us have seen ourselves get into a position of prominence, and it would be great to give back to other people who are looking to get those same opportunities that you got. And that's really one of the things that I really enjoy about being a producer. So what else do you have on this thing here? Sorry, guys. Okay, so as far as local businesses, when we film a movie, we use a lot of the local vendors in the area. For instance, we needed a location. Chris from the Metro Chamber was happy to oblige us, and just being able to work with the city and have people in the city support us is just incredible. I don't think that we would have gotten as far as we got without that. Give me this thing. As far as growth, I can say for myself, I mean, I went from being an extra to, you know, I mean, working and signing, you know, contracts with, you know, major studios and things like that. And I think that a lot of that has to do with me being grounded. I'm a very grounded individual. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Not to say that but I mean, that helped me, you know, stay grounded, and it helped me stay connected to the things that are important. So that's really helped out. My grandfather, God rest him, he's a very strict individual, but you know, all of his sternness was needed for me, and I really appreciate him for that. As far as future goals, I mean, my future goal is to be able to tell stories that shape culture and influence the world and influence other people. Some films are made for entertainment and some films are made for a purpose. So, I mean, as far as company goes, I could speak for Anawan. I mean, I know Anawan Street Productions really wants to be one of the top movie houses in the country, and the goal is to stay in Brockton. Even me as an actor, I have not moved to LA. A lot of my friends have moved to LA. I mean, a lot of actors that I've worked with have suggested that I move to Atlanta, and I moved to LA. And my thing that I've always told them is I'm gonna stay right here where I am. Thank you. As far as new ventures is concerned, I want to tell you guys about the new ventures that I'm doing, but I mean, I like to try to keep it as close as possible. But I tell you that I'm working on a documentary I'm developing. It's called Shoe City, and it's about Brockton. So I'll tell you that. As far as lessons to future entrepreneurs, this is probably the most important part of what I'm going to say. One of the things that I had to learn to be an entrepreneur is to step outside of my comfort zone. A lot of us are used to the comforts of steady cash flow and, you know, things like that. And when you are an entrepreneur and when you're starting from the ground up, you're not going to have the luxury of steady cash flows and, you know, all of these different advantages. So for entrepreneurs coming up, I would say the biggest thing is you have to be ready to sacrifice. You're gonna have to give up something in order to see your goal or your dream come true. And you're gonna have to work hard at it. And the biggest thing is to network and give back. Thank you.
Please give it up for Brandon. Thank you. Some great words of wisdom from such a young person. Brandon, thank you. Next we have Rashad Gardner. Rashad is a DJ. Thanks for today. Entrepreneur, a small business owner of Entertainment One Stop Shop LLC and Platinum City Gaming, a new arcade and gaming lounge in Taunton. He's also co-founded SIP Now, Step Into Your Potential Now, an organization focused on providing career readiness opportunities to educate and empower youth to find their true place in society while building on individual talents and skills, with the goal of moving forward and sustaining economic self-sufficiency. That is a lot of tasks to do. Rashad's goal in life is to continue to provide access and lifelines to youth and inner city folks who wouldn't have the ability to access specific resources due to their unforeseen lifestyles. SIP Now will be the platform that he, along with the other overseers, will utilize to make sure that all who participate will become successful and reach their full potential. Rashad.
All right, so before I get started, I want everyone to just stand up really quick and just tell someone right next to them, just say, hey, just give them a hug real quick, because life is really short, y'all. Just give someone a hug at this time, y'all. Everyone comes to these meetings and sometimes don't even meet the next one that's right next to them. Just say, hey. If you're a little shy, just say, hey, my name is X, Y, and Z. All right. So I'm gonna make this really brief. I'm not gonna make it too long. My name is Rashad. I grew up in probably one of the rough, when I say rough cities, I grew up in a rough city, and that was Dorchester, right up Upham's Corner area. I experienced so many different obstacles growing up. You're probably like, oh, how old is this kid? But I'm actually 31 years old, and I tell you, I've been through a lot of obstacles in my life. But every day, every obstacle that I go through, it only uplifts me. It makes me stronger. And I have 2 little kids that I fight every single day. When I tell you every single day for my 2 ones. One's actually 3, and I have one that's 11. Growing up in Dorchester, again, I've seen a lot of obstacles. I ended up going to school. I was a little lost at one point, and I said to myself, I need to figure this out. And I had a wonderful friend of mine. He was actually from South Boston. He was actually a Jew, believe it or not. And he guided me in so many different directions. When I tell you this guy is incredible, he's incredible. He told me a lot of different ropes to life. And I used to always go to his house, and his mother used to say, you know what? Try this bread out. This bread is incredible. And she used to make the bread from scratch. And I used to say, how do you make that bread? And I tell you, just having that experience and having that leader and role model was incredible. I ended up going back to school. I actually went to school at RCC at one point, and I was going to school to be a nurse at one point. Then after that, I said, you know what? I finished up, and I got my license as an anesthesiologist. And pretty much I did that for a little bit. I started investing because that was one tool that he told me. Any money that you get, invest in it. And I said to myself, you know what? You're right. And I started investing, and I started doing a lot of community events in Boston. The mayor took me under his wing because of this wonderful guy. He was close friends with him. And he said, you know what? You inspire me as a black individual because you're trying to do different. You're trying to do better, and you love to give back to the community. And when I was a DJ, that's all I used to do was DJ. And I always used to try to figure out ways to give back to youth. Just because where I came from, everyone in that community really didn't have much. And it was tough at times, it was stressful, but as an anesthesiologist, you make double figures. There was times that I worked 12-hour shifts, there was times that I worked 14-hour shifts when I didn't even supposed to. And I worked at Boston Medical Center and also Cambridge Hospital. Through those trials and tribulations, it just made me a stronger person. As you know, everyone in here probably know, I actually had a wonderful contract. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I used to run a place in Brockton. And that was an interesting trial, and it only made me stronger. A lot of rumors you may know that you may have heard, I tell you, it only made me stronger. And again, I run a nonprofit. It's a mentor program where we help younger youth and guide them in a career path. I throw a lot of different events. Last summer we got roughly about 100 youth summer jobs through the city of Boston. And I want to do something similar in the city of Brockton. I actually moved here about 6 years ago. I bought a house And I've been trying to work with Brockton, really like to do a lot of different things because I literally, when I tell you, I have everything. When you see that sign over there that says Entertainment One-Stop Shop, we have everything. When I tell you we have it, we have it. And I really mean it. And with that source of things that I can offer to the city of Brockton and to the community, to the youth, and to be a mentor and just to be a adult figure as a black male to actually speak to these young individuals and tell them, hey, life ain't easy, but one thing you got to do is keep fighting. No matter what color you are, nothing comes easy. And I say that just because I go to a lot of networking groups. I never feel like, oh, I'm the only black kid in there. I never feel like, you know, everyone's everyone. Everyone's people. And it doesn't matter by your color or your what you believe. And I tell you, I go to tons and tons of networking groups and I meet tons of people daily. And that made me who I am. And career experience, pretty much did a lot in my life. Again, I started as a DJ. I played a lot of basketball. I was a big basketball player. Graduated from Northeastern. Again, I was a really big basketball player, but I ended up having kids, so I had to sacrifice, and I actually have a wife. We've been married for about almost 10 years now. And again, that is something that can tell you, you gotta fight. A marriage is not easy, and it reminds you of life, and life ain't easy. And I tell you, being married for 10 years with the same woman that drives me crazy, I tell you, I think I'm starting to get white hairs and gray hairs in my head. I think I got one right here that's been growing, and I'm only 31. So I'm gonna make this really short. I'm gonna end it here. If everyone in here, let's make some noise for Metro South Chambers, y'all. Come on, y'all, let's make some noise for Metro South Chambers. And also, I don't know if Bill Carpenter's here, but I'm gonna give him a shout out also. Make some noise for Bill Carpenter, y'all. Also make some noise for all the city councils in here that helped out with everything, the supporters, everything, y'all, because it takes a unity to make this all happen. No one can do this by themselves, no one. And I'm gonna skip one little piece here for referral. I don't know if I should say this, is it okay? So for me, as a referral, I would love for everyone in this house. I know everyone has events, and come and check out my gaming lounge, or even just say, hey, Rashad, I want to give him a call and see what he can offer me for a birthday party, or a bar mitzvah, a wedding, you name it. If you need uplighting, you need photo booths, give me a call as a referral, or even check out my gaming lounge in Taunton. We also have a full bar, and we have bumper cars there. We have virtual reality for the kids. We do a lot of different tournaments, educational tournaments as well. Parent safety, as in if your kid's online playing video games, we do parent safety classes as well. So again, as a referral, and as everyone in here, please check out my gaming lounge. It's called Platinum City Gaming in Taunton. I would love to open one in Brockton. At the time, I was actually trying to open one in Brockton, but it didn't work out. But I would love to open one in Brockton as well. But again, I hope everyone is networking and having a good time. Big shout out to Chris and his wonderful staff. I believe her name is Alexander. She is doing, I want to give her a shout out too, because she's doing a credible incredible job. And when you see someone doing a wonderful job, you gotta honor them sometimes. And I tell you, I know Chris goes through a lot, and I see it. Keep it up, I love it. And Alexander, keep up the good work.
Let's give it up for Rashad. Awesome job. So we have passion, we have passion, we have passion. We've got one more passion story. And in this case, we have Taisha Creighton. Taisha is principal chief biz builder, speaker, entrepreneur, author, wife, and a mom. Using the strategy she's used to grow a multi-million-dollar construction business. Taisha specializes in coaching and consulting with minority women-owned small businesses, getting in position to win to generate 6 and 7 figures. Taisha's passion to work with minority women businesses led her to obtain a certificate in building a high-performance minority business from Dartmouth College, Tuck Business School. Taisha is also an alumnus of the Minority and Women Business Programs of Suffolk Construction, Turner Construction, Gilbane Construction, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. Without further ado, Taisha.
Good evening, everyone. It's hard to be the last and the first. Those are the two spots. You're like, I want to be in the middle. So I am Taisha Creighton, as you just heard. I am an entrepreneur, a speaker, an author. I'm a mom. My children are, I call it the grand finale. We have one final one that's about to go to college. We have one at Morehouse College in Atlanta, and our daughter is in New York at WeTV. So I'm getting to the stage where I can now have an empty house, hopefully. I have done quite a bit in my life as far as career-wise goes, but it hasn't always been that way. I can say I'm an author, I can say I'm an entrepreneur, I can say I built a company to multi-million-dollar business, but it wasn't easy. It didn't start off being easy. It never gets easy building a business. I grew up in Dorchester, Massachusetts with a single mom. And I didn't know how to build a business. I didn't know entrepreneur existed for people that looked like me. I didn't know entrepreneurship was available to a black girl from Dorchester, Massachusetts. I grew up in poverty, food stamps, lived in a 2-bedroom with 4 siblings, and we weren't able to even get food the way I can now. My children will never seen that side. And because I grew up that way, I was able to realize that in order for me to make a change, in order for me to have something different in my life, I had to do something different. I knew that because I grew up that way and didn't want my children to grow up that way, I had to make a change. And I decided to use what I call is every single one of our strengths and our power, and that is the power of choice. We all have a choice to decide what we want to do in life and how we want this thing to end out. No matter what happens in life, you can get back up. No matter how many times you fall, you can get back up. And as I grew up and grew, I was able to develop what I thought was the ultimate dream. My husband's back there. We've been married for over 20 years. And where is he? Oh, there he is. He's not back there. He's over here. I saw him back there a few minutes ago. He moves fast. So we've been married for over 20 years, and we had, a house. We both had 6-figure jobs. We had our children doing well. We had the dog and the picket fence. So I guess we had what was called, in quotes, as my kids do, the American dream. But no one tells you what to do when that dream falls apart. What happens when the chair is pulled from underneath you when you're sitting in it? You fall, and who's there to help you pick up the pieces? And so what I learned growing up in poverty was how to make things happen and how to sacrifice and how to not give up in the down times. And because we almost lost our home. My husband's truck was repossessed at that time, and it was a very down time for us. But in that downtime is where people say that's where flowers grow in the dirt. In the dirt time is where we were able to grow and develop. So it was in the dirt time that I finally knew how to actually develop. I took $21 at Dollar Tree, and we were able to develop a business cleaning bank-owned properties. And the first property was $200 is what we made, but we didn't have income. We were both laid off from our jobs. So we both at the same time lost 2 six-figure jobs. And we couldn't find, I always tell people, we couldn't pay someone to give us a job at that time because that's when the market had crashed. And when the market crashed, we both, again, lost our jobs. So we both were sitting here trying to figure out, how do we take care of our children? How do we take care of this big mortgage payment that we have? We did lose some things, but one thing we weren't willing to lose was our family. And that is what is very important. That was very important to us and still is today. And what we took was the things that we had in our hands. So every single one of us in this room have something that we're great at, something that we're good at, something my mother taught me how to clean, beat me how to clean, whichever way you want to do, tell the story. We had to clean, and she didn't take just cleaning the pots and, washing it and throw it in the sink. No, you had to clean it. So when I took that $21 and everything else that was in my hand, my vacuum, my mop, my broom, and our strength, and we went and started cleaning properties. From that, it turned into a contract with a vendor that had a national contract. So I wanted to find out more about that. How do you get a national contract? Again, I grew up in poverty. I didn't know anything about this. So like some people on the panel may have known they wanted to become an entrepreneur. Mine was happenstance. I happened to fall into it and then had to learn how to do it. Like someone throwing you in the water and you got to learn how to swim. So when I learned how to develop an entrepreneurship business, I went to the town hall, filled out the business certificate. And when I filled out the business certificate, I brought it to a friend of mine who actually had a real estate business, and they gave us that one opportunity. And a lot of times all it takes is that one person to give you one opportunity. So you can have 20 no's, don't give up at the no's. All you need is one person to give you that one opportunity. And it was $200. Some people want the big contracts right away. But when you're starting out, start out with what you can handle and grow into it. Grow into the business, because the last thing you want to do is grow too fast. And what I mean by that, you grow faster than what you're able to handle. And we're all different. So what you're able to actually supply, even if it's supplying for the business. So when we did that, we actually got a contract. I researched it, went online, found the contract, and then I began to network with different minority businesses. So I was SDO certified as a women business enterprise, a minority business enterprise, and then I'm going to say a lot of acronyms here. So MBE, WBE, DBE, and then CWE is here as well. I see not there. CWE is here. And so there are a lot of different committees and organizations that can kind of help you through the process, but you have to be willing to do the work. So they can lead you over to where a contract is. They can tell you about these opportunities, but it's up to you to actually do the work, fill out the application, fill out the bids, and network. So when we did all the networking, there was a contract that Fannie Mae had. And I was asked about an RFP. Can I fill out this RFP? It looks like something that you do for your business. I didn't know at the time what RFP stood for. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I didn't know, and I had to go asking people, what is an RFP? What does that mean? It sounds scary. I don't know how to do this. But I was told by a colleague that I met through a networking event, just fill it out the best way you know how. And that's what I did. I answered every single question the best way I could. And I said, they're never going to pick us. We're too small. I don't have experience. I don't have, all of this money for capital. But Fannie Mae came here from Texas, and they had a one-on-one interview. And I felt defeated when I left out, so much so that I had to go back in. Because I went in defeated myself. Not that they felt I was defeated. I went in with a defeated mindset. And I went back in and said, let me tell you a little bit about me. I may not have everything that these other companies are coming in here saying that they have as far as crews, as far as capital. But what I do have is a tenacious spirit. And what I can do is scale up, because I was able to grow this business with just $21. So sometimes you have to go in with your own story and tell your own story. Don't go in like anybody else, go in just like you. Because they're not looking for the same thing. They're looking for something different. That's why they're looking. They're tired of what they're they've already had. So growing, we did get the contract with Fannie Mae, and that ended up yielding us $2 million a year. And we ended up getting corporate contracts. So we've done some CVS's, we've done Cannondale Bikes, and I think they changed Crimson Bikes, I think is what it's called now in Cambridge, Pathways of Wellness on Mass Ave. So we've done even commercial properties, and then a church, Kingdom Builders, we managed that project as well. But I didn't know these things when I started. So sometimes your downfall will help you rise, and that will help you gain the knowledge that you need, and it will pull out things in you that you didn't even know you had. So I didn't expect this to come up. I didn't expect this to happen. But because I had it, because I did it, I want to help other entrepreneurs do it. I want to help other women and minority businesses be able to do that. And government contracting for me is just the way to go, because I don't really like chasing $10, honestly. I like chasing $10,000, $100,000 contracts, and then millions. So that's where I like to go. But that's me. For me, sometimes it takes almost the same effort to chase the $10 than it does to chase the $10,000 contract, if you know how to chase it, if you know how to bid for it, if you know who to connect to and to network with. So networking was really a tool that I used to actually grow the business, and a tool that I consistently use. And although we have social media, and I love social media, and I've been able to get contracts or opportunities for speaking through social media, but that one-on-one with a government contracting agency, and that one-on-one with the corporate agent, social media for me, and this is debatable, but for me, does not do the same thing. That one-on-one, face-to-face, being in front of someone, is someone getting to know you and shake your hand and getting to understand who they're actually putting $100,000 in their pocket. If they know who that is, it's a little bit different than being on social media. It's a different type of setup. I think I answered all of the questions here. Let's
give it up for Taisha. I actually, at this point, would like to have Taisha and Brandon and Tiffany and Rashad just stand up. And I want all of us to stand up to give them a round of applause. Yes, take a bow, everybody. Yep, this panel. It really is incredible. They really is incredible. They are young, they are inspiring, and I hope all of you stay around to talk to them and to network with them, because I think we can all benefit from them. So thank you very much. Thank you. We really do hope that you are inspired. I really am. I could listen to these stories all day, and I wish all of our young people in this city would hear what they have said today to all of us. And we feel empowered to pursue the opportunities created through this evening's program. We encourage you to think about starting and growing your business locally. They all talked about locally, whether it's being a restaurant or a gallery or a gas station. We're here, the Metro South Chamber, and all of our resources around this room today. We're here to expand your network. We look forward to working with you and frequently your business soon. Please stick around for the Business After Hours and challenge yourself to visit 10 exhibitors and meet 10 new people. Seriously, do that. You'll benefit from it. You never know what each interaction, and this is what all the 4 panelists said today, will bring in terms of new business and opportunities. We will also have delicious food cooked up by Lady C&J, soul food, and desserts from Peppercorns, as well as some exciting door prizes, which we just announced. And the music is provided again by Rashad Gardner of Entertainment One Stop Shop. Information regarding the resources from the various expo tables will be available at the conclusion of this program. And just a reminder, the Chamber's 27th Annual Taste of Metro South is on April 24th at the Shaw Center. Over 40 restaurants showcasing the multicultural flavors. It really is multicultural flavors of the region. Great music is arranged with Brockton Jazz Band, Bridgewater State University Drumming Ensemble, and several talented musicians. Please see Lexi at the front. She's our chamber program director. And for tickets to sign up. Also, there'll be a multi-chamber networking event on Monday, April 8th at the Plain Ridge Park Casino from 4:30 to 7. It's opening day. at the races, please see Lexi to register. And lastly, and there are other business after hours. Lastly, the Small Business and Entrepreneur of the Year Award will be on Monday, May 15th at the Fuller Craft Museum from 12 to 1:30. And the Athena Awards will be on Friday, June 21st. Chris, it's too bad the Chamber doesn't do a whole lot because, man, you guys are keeping busy. The perfect place is having the Time Tunnel After Work Cool Down. And that's on what day?
Every Thursday.
Oh, every Thursday. Chris is the DJ. Perfect. Thank you once again. This really doesn't happen without our sponsors. And the premier sponsor of Mutual Bank, facility sponsor, The Perfect Place, food partners, Lady C and J Soul Foods, Peppercorn's Cafe and Catering, our supporting sponsors of Rockland Trust, I know they're over here to my left, BC Tent and Awning, Rich Morgan of Rich Morgan Photography, thank you Rich, right here, DJ Rashad Gardner, Entertainment One Stop Shop, Brockton Community Access, you guys are everywhere, and because you film, we're able to see this online. It really makes a difference for those who can't be here. We're going to share this with all of you. The Enterprise newspaper, our chamber ambassadors, and all of you for attending. Please enjoy the rest of the evening here, and I look forward to networking with you. Thank you and have a good night.